Cubase's Tempo Detect is a tool that can work really well. Here are some of my methods to get the best out of it. I will also cover the basics, and highlight a few areas that are skipped over in help, and many of the online YouTube tutorials, which make getting to grips with it difficult for a beginner. The first important step is to prepare the audio tracks. It will work on any multitrack or single track of a full mix, or single instrument track, providing it is rhythm-based playing, such as a strumming guitar. Tempo Detect will only use a single track to establish a tempo map, so when correcting a multitrack, choose a rhythmic track with strong downbeats, such as a bass drum or a mix down of the drum kit. For the first exercise we have a voice and guitar demo, recorded without a click track. The idea is to pull it into a fixed tempo to use as a template, to create an arrangement for the final recording. For this process, save the song under a different name and remove any audio that is not going to be corrected, such as outtakes. Tempo Detect will not work if extra tracks are there. So the first task will be to establish the basic tempo at the start of the track. You will see why in a moment. Here is a quick way to find the tempo. Find the first strong downbeat and zoom in for accuracy, and cut through both tracks, discarding the front section. Then pull the two tracks right up to the beginning of bar 1. I like to make a MIDI click track using a short percussive sound, which gives you a visual and audio guide of the tempo. Looking at the guitar, you can see where the downbeats are, so adjust the tempo until you get the best lineup of the MIDI click with the downbeats of the guitar. Because it was played freely, it's not going to stay in sync for long, but get it as close as possible. Now export 2 bars of click as an audio clip, and line up the first downbeat of the guitar at bar 3. Do this with both tracks, making sure to keep them in sync. There is a pickup on the vocal before beat 1 of the song, so open that out. Now bounce the 2 clips together to make one continuous audio track each, for vocal and guitar. The reason I do this is, Tempo Detect must have one continuous track, and all tracks must start at the same point, and be the same length. The count-in is there to help Tempo Detect to find the tempo before the track starts, and to establish where the bar lines are. Tempo Detect only detects tempo from one track, so I have selected the guitar track. Also important to remember, the mouse pointer loses most of its other functions while in Tempo Detect mode, so make sure everything is as you want it before entering Tempo Detect. From the project menu, select Tempo Detect. Click on Analyze. This message comes up because there is a lot of drift in the tempo, but it's not a problem. Usually I find the smooth function is not necessary, and doesn't always help. The detected tempo map is created on the tempo track. Tempo Detect has picked up on the offbeat accents and is offset where the downbeats are. Tempo Detect has a correction for this. Click on the button next to offbeat correction. Now zoom into a reasonable resolution so you can see the downbeats of the guitar. Make sure the MIDI track click is muted. Press C to put on the Cubase audio click. Now we play through the track. Check that every beat in the tempo track aligns with the guitar downbeats. Move the misaligned beats on the tempo track to coincide with the guitar. Here the guitar stops for a bar, and the tempo is lost. We must stretch the beats to get the next beat 1 on the downbeat again. As tempo points are corrected, all the following tempo points realign. When complete, go to the Edit menu and select All. Now go to the Audio menu and select Advanced. Then, set definition from tempo. Check that 2 audio clips are selected. If other audio is present, it will state that there are conflicting audio events. This puts the selected audio tracks into elastic mode, so that the audio will always follow the tempo track. The next step to get out of tempo detect mode is not mentioned in help, and flummoxed me in the beginning. Right-click, then click Continue. Now we are out of tempo detect mode, so the mouse functions as normal again. Select and delete all the tempo points except the first one. Going back to the original unprocessed track, we can see the tempo started at about 108 BPM, and speeds up quite a bit towards the end, to about 117. It feels too fast at 117, so I'm going to try about 112 and see how that feels. That feels like the right tempo. This next bit is my recommendation. Solo and mix down each track into the audio folder, naming them so you can find them again. Save, then open the original save and create 2 new tracks, and import the 2 new mixdown files. Set the tempo to 112, and mute, or delete the old tracks. We can now add a basic 2-bar bass and drums feel that works with the guitar, and start refining bass and drums and building the track, using the demo voice and guitar as a reference. Now we can add additional overdubs, and record the final guitar and vocals.